Hello everyone, welcome to Telangana Exam Center. Today we are doing the 6th model question and answer for TGPSC Group 1 examinations. Along with that for UPSC GS paper 3. These are all helpful. Okay. So our 6th question here is on the YouTube channel of Telangana Exam Center. You have all the mains model question and answer running series. So you can watch it and exactly you can represent in your examination by doing some deductions. Generally I give little bit more so that in that more if you have studied, okay, you can at least present 70 to 75%. That is why. And for explanation point of view, I will also mention some points. If you think that that explanation is anyhow understood in a particular sentence, remove it. But for the beginners, for also the advanced people, this is how the model question and answers looks like, and it has to be in this way. Fine. This question number 6 is basically related to a new philosophy that has been mentioned in the budget 2024 to 2025 presented in July. Okay, the full budget which is presented recently. In that budget, okay, I've gone through the newspapers and I understood that there's a new philosophy the government is following for the economic growth and economic development. So the question can be framed on the basis of this new philosophy of economic growth and economic development. That is why every one of you has to be knowing this new way of approaching that two goals. So the question will come this way into the examination. With regard to any details of the courses that we generally offer, the number is there in the description. You can just call and you can connect to me, and that is how we can move forward. Growth and development measures have taken paradigm shift in government philosophy. Comment means growth and development. We are talking about economic growth, we are talking about development. Means well-being of the people. These two important goals of the government and the measures taken to achieve these goals. Now the government has changed the way to approach these goals. The measures taken by the government has changed to approach these goals. That is why we are calling it as paradigm shift. And you have to comment on it, you have to write about it. Okay, or else the question could be framed this way. Government has moved from traditional approach to a new philosophy. From traditional approach, what is that? We'll also discuss in the answer. Traditional approach to a new philosophy. For what purpose? That brings rapid economic growth, again this one, and ensures well-being of all sections of society, youth, businessmen, agriculturists, and for the exports and for the economy, so on and so forth. So government has moved from traditional approach to a new philosophy for achieving the same two goals, economic growth and well-being of the society, okay, which has all the inclusion of various stakeholders. You have to discuss. This question can come this way, but the only thing that you have to remember, the moment you see that a new philosophy of economic growth, or you may see that what measures government should take in order to achieve these two goals, what is in your opinion, what could be the new way, or suggest some measures like that. Also if they ask you, you can put this particular answer in your examination. That is how you have to go through. Let us understand what is a new philosophy. Okay, so these are the courses we are having. TGPSC Group 1 course detail, paper 4, paper 5, paper 6 also we are having, general paper 1 general essay. So these 4 papers we will be offering you, and this is the price. And for UPSC mains test series, only GS paper 3 we are very expert in this, and general essay. That's all about it. I'll just move aside. You can pause and you can read the whatever the features of the scheme is there. Okay, fine. Introduction I have not given. You can write the introduction all by yourself. Okay, anyhow in the test series, in the material, that introduction will be there. Let us discuss this. Okay, chalo. So the first philosophy is tax rate. New philosophy is here is tax rate. Now just imagine a point here. If you want money, okay, you are a government, you want money, or just imagine you are a you are a son of your father, obviously, then you want money. What do? You ask your father more money, right? Then you will get more money, then you can spend, do more expenditure. Suppose you are a CM or PM or FM of state or FM of a country. If you want more money, what do? The sources of revenues you will try to explore. Let us suppose you wanted to stick to tax revenues. You wanted to increase the tax revenues. So the moment you increase the tax revenues, you know that one of the merit of tax revenues are The moment you increase, the revenue will also increase. So taxes and revenues are coefficient here. What are they? They are coefficient. You increase 1%, 1% revenue will increase at the same time, at the real time. That is the importance of this merits of direct and indirect taxes. They are coefficient. So as if FM, finance minister of a state or a country, you will be generally, if you want more money to do expenditures on poor people or to take some welfare measures or to create infrastructure for the economic growth whatsoever, you want more money. What do? You will increase the taxes. Okay, you will get more money and you do the expenditures. Now this is an old philosophy. Now the new philosophy is not about increasing the taxes but about increasing the tax base. I will tell you a very simple thing you have to understand. Instead of taking 100 rupees from 10 people, take 50 rupees from 500 people. That's all. That is the strategy here. Instead of taking 100 rupees from 10 people, take 50 rupees from 500 people. So the base, the tax base, the number of payers here is only 10. The number of payers in the new philosophy is what? Increase 500. This is the new philosophy the government is adopting. Not increasing the taxes but increasing the tax base. Now as an entrepreneur, suppose my tax burden decreases. Instead of 1 crore, I am able to earn 3 crore profits. What I will do with the rest 2 crores, I'll try to do expenditures more in the market. I may open a restaurant, I may open a hotel, or I may open any manufacturing unit or not. Yes. So government philosophy has changed here. Why do increase taxes and put more burden on the entrepreneurs? Okay, so that instead of 1 crore savings, they are getting only 50 lakhs. They will be very hurt and they will do it for savings and their vacation thing. So instead of increasing the taxes, government what it does? Increase the base, and in that process, the more people got the habit of paying the taxes, more people got into the tax net. This is one important merit is there. Another one is the entrepreneurs are able to and the businessmen are able to get more profits. They can reinvest in order to create more job and elevate a lot of people from poverty. This is a new thing. So that's all about I have explained to you. You can go through and that is there. So the explanation is everything is there in this particular tax rate. Okay. Traditional view, increase taxes increases revenue. But government has done opposite of it. Instead of that, government has reduced the taxes but increased the tax base. And the implications of that I have already told you. In 2019, there was a very big slash happened with regard to the corporate tax. Decrease the taxes, increase the tax base. The decrease of taxes has been justified with the fact here. Corporate tax rate has slashed to 22%, which was around 25% for domestic companies and 15% for new domestic manufacturing companies. Only 15% for the new startups, which was around 25%, 30% once upon a time. 2019, they slashed it to corporate taxes so that more profits entrepreneurs should earn and can reinvest in the market. That's all about it. Okay. Then follow strict adherence to prudential fiscal norms. Now, prudential fiscal norms. What is the meaning of prudential? It's like very technical terminology. We don't need to worry about why do we call it as prudential. But remember one point. Like somebody's Sohail name is there. Okay. We are not interested what is the meaning of the Sohail. We are interested that whether the Sohail is good or not or Rakesh is good or not. That's all. So just imagine a point here. Prudential means it's nothing but good. That's all. Good is nothing but good in what way? Good in fiscal norms. What is the meaning of fiscal norms here? What is the meaning of fiscal norm? Fiscal norms are nothing but expenditure and revenue. The gap between expenditure and revenue should be this much only. Should not be this much. If this is the gap between expenditure and revenue is this much, this is called as non-prudential fiscal norms. Means you are not doing good with your economy. If it decreases, then you are doing good with your economy. Suppose just imagine a situation here. You are a father, you are the head of the family. Let's suppose you are a father. Okay. Now your expenditures are 30,000, but your earnings are only 10,000. What is the gap? 20,000 is the gap. Let's suppose after 6 months your expenditures are 50,000, but your earning is only 15,000. So what happened to your gap? The gap is increasing. The more gap is increasing, it is nothing but your debt burden is also increasing. You will borrow more money in the market, and one point of time will come, neither your friends will give you nor your relatives will give you because you have already taken from them. Again giving you the money will be risky, and in the same way the banking institutions will also not give you. Why? Because you have taken already a lot of loans in order to meet your expenditures. That is why they will check your CIBIL and they will not give you. So you have no resources. You will have no resources to maintain. That's why you should have a very less gap between expenditure and like expenditures and your revenues or your income, so that the extra income whatever is there no, you can put it as a risk, and the people, relatives, etc., banking institution will take a risk on that extra income and give you what? Loan facility. So government here is following a very good fiscal prudential norms, not increasing the revenue and expenditure gap a lot. Okay, and how government is doing it? Government is not raising lot of money by issuing bonds. Government is not increasing money from the market borrowings, either by bonds or government securities. Government is not doing it. Government is able to self-sustain its revenues by increasing the tax base, by increasing the compliance, by catching the black marketers, by catching the money launderers. Government is doing some administrative, some stringent laws with regard to that money laundering, etc., and also increasing the tax base. That is how government is actually raising the money. But government is not borrowing from the market. If government is not borrowing from the market, what is happening here? The amount of money in the market is more. When amount of money in the market is more, the interest rate on that money will be less. When the interest rate on the money will be less, and that will be given to what? Private players like you and me, we can buy that particular money. If government sucks up the liquid cash from the market, then the less money in the market, increase interest rate, we people cannot buy it. And normal investors, normal who want to open a manufacturing unit, they cannot do it. So that is why it is important that government has pulled up some money, only some money, and has left lot of money in the market so that we can buy and start doing the startups. So that is a very good initiative of the government. That is only called as prudential fiscal norms. Now we are having government and private sector hand in glove. Here, while the government spends more and more on building essential infrastructures like NIMS says, government is want to create some infrastructure, and in turn government is expecting the private player to provide millions of jobs. So government said that you are like a hand in glove. We create infrastructure, you create what? Jobs. So this is the new philosophy. That's why government recruitments are not happening. If they're happening also, leak is happening. Government saying that private sector, you chip in. We are not interested now. Then rapid formalization and digitalization. This has to be done because very important, we can get a proximate figures with regard to our national income also. If every money is being there in the bank means you will get the bigger size of the economy, plus you will know that how much poor people are there, how much a particular person is earning, etc., so and so forth. Okay, this allows the government efficiently to monitor the economy, okay, raise resources without getting entangled in efficiencies, which is a typically of public sector. One of the characteristics of public sector is they are inefficient, like Air India, inefficient, that's why we sold. BSNL still is not competitive with regard to other telecom operators. It is inefficient, that's why it is inefficient. Many of the government sector has been privatized by the present government and the last government also. Why? Why? Because they are inefficient. Again, why inefficiency is there? Because of lots of underground activities are happening in the private sector. In the large bureaucrats like Babus are there, which are asking what? Rent. Rent seeking is nothing but asking bribe. And red tape. Red tape is nothing but not actually approving the projects of the people. Like I want to open a chocolate factory. I went to the GHMC, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, and put my file there to the approval. They're not giving me the approval. Then I have to take out some money and give to them. Then that sign will be happening. So this kind of problems government has removed by doing formalization more, by doing digitalization more, everything on the internet, pay it, you'll get the approval. So less contact, less human interactions with the government, okay, less red tapeism and less corruption and bribe will be happening. This is what government has plugged in, right? Impending second generation reforms. Impending second generation reforms, nothing but you know that 1991 there was a very big reforms happened in the form of LPG model, and after 2 decades also there is no such big reforms yet happen. Reforms are nothing but a overhaul of economy, a structural push will be given to some sectors, and government will have a very big vision for 20-30 years like that. Such kind of measures will be laid today as a foundation, and for after 30 years, okay, the next 30 years will work on it. That is called as reforms. You want to support horticulture, you want to support livestock, you want to support only electronic industry, you want to support only AI. That will be written today, and by 2-3 decades we'll just follow it. That kind of structural changes government want to bring in, increasing the GDP of one sector, decreasing the GVA of another sector, increasing the GVA of only industrial sector. For that purpose, you need to have a different policies come into placing and laws so that to support the sector. That kind of changes are called as what? Economic reforms as in a normal parlance. Right. So the 2 decades happened, 1991 to 2022, but still we do not have a reforms. Reforms are not there. So that is like almost like 3 decades, 1991 to 2001, 2001 to 2011, 2011 to 2021, 3 decades happened, but there is no such big reforms happen in our country. So, but government said that we are doing enough. Okay, we are doing some kind of reforms. And we are trying to match up with the global competition. We will be liberalizing more our economy. We will be taking care of license Raj. Government is saying like that. Government has also said that we have taken several measures, several big reforms we have already brought in the form of demonetization, in the form of big financial inclusions, in the form of digitalization, in the form of formalization. We are actually in such a way, in a big way, we are not doing that reforms, but we also have got sectoral bigger reforms we have chip in. Restructuring of India's indirect taxes. Complete reform happened with regard to indirect taxes. Many of the state and central indirect taxes has been clubbed in one GST except custom duties. Blustering of insolvency architecture. The people who are taking the loans from the banks, the companies who are taking the loans from the banks, government has tweaked the laws in such a way that they should repay it. So all that insolvency related things government has solved to some extent. Massive push towards digitalization and financial inclusions of millions of Indians. So government may not got with regard to very large structural reforms, but government has definitely here has got into what? Big reforms in this way. Okay, fine. Now shortcoming of this policy. Why this policy is like still have some problems. The first one is losing the growth momentum. Now whatever the changes the government has brought, the decreasing the corporate tax, financial inclusion, digitalization, demonetization, experts say that they are poorly timed. When Indian economy is losing the momentum from 2017 onwards, we are going into degrowth of the economy now, then these reforms were introduced, which is poorly timed. That was a comment of the experts. Alarming unemployment. So what government thought? Private sector will create infrastructure, government will create infrastructure and private sector will create employment. This did not happen. That is another shortcoming of this particular policy. In 2019, the GDP grew merely 4% only. What government thought that economic growth will happen? That did not take place. One goal did not happen. Another one is alarming unemployment is there in our country. Means lot of people are not getting job. Suppose from a college, 1,000 people are coming out, only 100 are placed. 900 are roaming here and there and doing TikTok influencers, so on and so forth. That's what is happening now. So here, what government thought in the philosophy, in realism, it is not there. COVID-19 pandemic impact still persists on the people, and people's savings has been gone because of this particular COVID. Low level of consumption, less capacity building by private sector. So private sector is going, after COVID-19, we are actually developing K-shaped curve. K-shaped means this is the average growth. Let's suppose this is the average growth. This sector is going up, this sector is not going up. This is called as, I am not going into the details of it because it's a model question and answer and we don't have to discuss that in detail. You have to understand it. So according to the government, our Indian growth story is what? K-shape. K-shape means the upper line is there, no? The people who have actually developed faster after the COVID are the richer people. And the people who have still strangling and still struggling because of the COVID-19 and aftermath of its effects, they are still not able to recover from that particular thing. So that is what is telling here. Now, non-realizing distress in economy. According to the expert, government seems to be denial of broader economic distress in the country. Government was very arrogant, people say. Experts say that government is not actually doing enough. So government has denied, no, economy is doing fine, economy is doing fine. Government has told like that, but has actually denied that there is a simmering economic distress is going on in our country. They did not realize it. But 2024 to 2025, this budget of July, government has realized that economic distress is definitely a reality, so we have to address it. At the same time, it questioned the private sector also. Government did not realize that economic distress is there in the economy. That is the first point. And government also said that we have taken lot of measures to promote private sector. Why private sector is not doing anything? And Nirmala madam has also commented and said and compared that particular private sector behavior with one of the incident of Ramayana. India's corporate sector is similar to Lord Hanuman. Like that she compare in a bit like how Hanuman has forgot his ability to fly, and then Lord Ram has actually told him that he has that ability and he can do that. So that confidence was given to Hanuman, and then that is how he fly the fastest, right? So the government is also saying the same way that we have given wings to the private sector. We have given wings to the private sector, decreased corporate tax, created infrastructure, tweaked the policies, ease of doing business, we have done everything. But why are you not flying? Why are you not creating the jobs? That is what government is also saying. Full-fledged budget, which was presented in July 2024 to 2025, it is not the budget that we expected, as the government and the experts are saying. Not government, experts are saying. Why? Because full-fledged budget, okay, if the present government would have come into majority, okay, in ruling with the majority seats, then the distribution of revenue would have been little bit more efficient, we can say like that. But because the government is not in majority and has to take the help of the partner regional parties like JDU and TDP, this budget is not a full-fledged budget for the country. Experts say that it is like a coalition budget. Why? Because, okay, crucial NDA partners JDU and TDP, BJP partners JDU and TDP have had several proposals directed to the states. So lot of a very big financial package is given to TDP and also what? Bihar, JDU, because it's a coalition budget and they have to be in that particular coalition. So they got lot of perks and privileges and lot of sweets in the form of a budget. That actually hampered the efficient allocation of revenues, like that the experts are also commenting on it. I hope this is all clear to you, and your duty is to write the way forward. Okay, means we have seen the features, we have seen the shortcomings. You have to write what can be done. Then you have to write a conclusion. Then your job is done. So make sure that you do all of this, and do call to the number given in the description. Connect to me. Let us have a very fruitful sessions with regard to the mentorship and also the test series and also to the general essays and also to the mains model question answer. I'll be always hand holding you and make sure that you will crack it. Bye bye. Take care.